Hey friends, it's Lauren Taylor. Thank you so much for joining me in my craft room today. I'm hopping along with some of my crafty friends for the Card Hoppin Hop from Handmade Happiness. I have the links down below in case you're interested in ever joining us in a future hop. I'm going to be jumping right into my video today as this is a hop and I don't want to keep you here too long. The theme this month is kaleidoscope or stained glass, and so I went with a kaleidoscope look by using my Stencils 360 from Penguin Palace Stamps. And I have the magical fireworks stencil. It's a 6-inch stencil, so I've set up my rings to be able to use this stencil, and I'm going around on I believe I did a 30-degree interval. And I'm just going around and adding in different distress colors. So I have an Oxide's Tumbled Glass, Broken China, and Salty Ocean. And then I also brought in Picket Fence distress ink. And once I go all the way around my guide ring with this magical fireworks stencil, it looks kind of like a sunburst, or again, trying to create that kaleidoscope look. I'm bringing in the second stencil, and I'm only going to use this stencil twice, but I wanted to add a little bit of my beluga solar paste, which is like my favorite thing ever right now. So I'm just going to spread a thin layer of that through the second stencil in this set. And I'm going to set it aside to dry for a bit because I want to add another layer, but I don't want to smear my solar paste of this layer here. So I'm just going to go ahead, I clean my stencil off real quick off camera, and I'm going to set this aside to dry and move on to something else. And then I will come back and do one more layer. So while that's drying, I have my Flames craft dies from Kindred Stamps, and I'm going to die cut them out of some blue cardstock. I end up choosing this darker blue metallic cardstock, and then I'm going to bring in a slightly lighter shade than I had here from the Brights from my Sunshine smooth cardstock. I felt that it matched my coloring the best of my Greek god here. That is the other theme this month for our hop, is to use Greek, and I immediately thought of this villain in my head when I read that. So everything is blue themed to match the coloring of my bad guy. So when I was die cutting, my stencil paste has dried, so I'm going to add in another layer of these little squares from the stencil, again using beluga solar paste. And then I'll set it aside to dry, and once it's all dry, I will die cut it with my rectangle die from the Kindred Stamps Card Basics. So while I'm doing that, I wanted to mention that again, this is a hop, and we have a lot of YouTubers and Instagram creators who are sharing some creations with this theme for this month. So make sure you get all of the details down below in my description box so you know how to hop along with us. For my sentiment, I die cut a white piece of cardstock and die cut it with one of my sentiment strip dies, also from Kindred Stamps. And I stamped the sentiment, "I'm dying to see you," with my Paradise VersaFine Clair ink. Here is my die cut background now that everything is dry, and we can start assembling all of these parts together to create the final card. I'm taking the larger flame, which is again a lighter blue solid cardstock, and I want to glue it to the bottom of the card. When I die cut my background, I made sure that my die was about as low as possible so that the center of that kind of firework burst is a little bit higher on my black cardstock background. So that way when I add the flames, my villain here, my Greek god villain, will look center to the firework design that I created with the Stencils 360, but it's a little bit higher up on the card than the center of the background. So once I have those blue flames glued down, I just trimmed off the edge, and I'm going to repeat the same process with my smaller flames in the metallic blue, which I think is so pretty. I love these two colors together. They match really well with the distress inks that I picked to do my stenciling that also match, I believe, my villain quite well. So once I'm done trimming these off, I'm going to start kind of figuring out my layout with my sentiment and my villain. Again, I had the center of my firework a little higher than center of the background, so that way I can place my villain right in the middle and my sentiment will go beneath him. I'm going to pop up my sentiment and my villain. So I just have some foam squares from scrapbook.com, and I went ahead and added them to the back of my sentiment and to the back of my stamped and colored in image. I did stamp it with an alcohol marker friendly black ink from Sassy Club and colored him in with my Oh Hoo Hoo art markers. Using my grid mat, I placed my villain to the center of that firework stenciled design, and now I've placed down my sentiment strip just below him. Now I'm just going to go ahead and use my sturdy glue tape runner, this is Scotch glue, and add some adhesive to the back side of my black cardstock background, and I'm just going to center that onto an A2 top folding card. Here is a final look at my Greek themed card with a kaleidoscope element. I hope you enjoyed my take on this month's Card Hoppin theme and that you enjoy all of the creations from all of the crafters today. Again, you can find all the details of the hop down below my description and even how to join us next time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll click like, and if you're new here, I hope you'll subscribe and come back. As always, you can find everything I use down below in the description box. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye!